That is our priority at this time.
I think it's actually quite important that we should stay here at the moment, that we shouldn't... I mean, originally the idea was that Costa Rica wasn't important. Well, I think it's turning into something very important at this stage of the march, and we have to take that into consideration.
People on the other side of the border have said they will use violence, and the police have said they will not help us if we try to do anything on our own. I think it's pretty important to know that.
That's one of the reasons. They've said they cannot guarantee our safety because the elections are going on. The police are no longer under the control of the normal person, I think it's the president or something. They're just there to protect the election.
If they can intimidate us here, they'll intimidate us in Honduras and in Guatemala and El Salvador.
We sat on the border for 18 hours arguing about what to do, while the Costa Rican government in the capital argued about what to do with us. The final word came late that night from our Costa Rican peace organizer.
Que sí nos dejan ir a San José sin ningún problema. No es necesario hacer lo que habíamos pensado hacer.
What she is saying with such a vehemence is that everything is okay. This is the official thing. She's my daughter. She came to give me the notice. Everything is okay. You can go to San Jose with 3 days. If you come with us now, you can pass today and we can get to San Jose later on night.
People in San Jose had been waiting all night for our arrival. Costa Rican peace committees on one side, Costa Rica Libre on the other.
Very much afraid. I mean, it's fear because my imagination is great, and I've read too many books maybe, and heard too many stories. But I think that at this moment, I have to face this now, because I'm going to have to face it on the Honduran border, I'm going to have to face it on the Salvadorian border, I'm going to have to face it in the Guatemalan border. I don't want to be pushed around. This is too important.
Protect us the 72 hours we are allowed to stay here. We have already seen that they are tearing tear gas. So everyone should have some clothes, wet clothes, just to protect themselves if they're coming with the gas. If they're taking the light, people who have a flashlight should get that.
We have just received a message from the Minister of Security with the proposal of protecting the lives of everybody who is here. He is ordering that we leave here very early in the morning. We are not prepared in any way to defend ourselves from these people, and this couldn't have happened this evening if we had satisfactory security from the government.
We were calling the U.S. Embassy at 1 in the morning, announcing to the Marines at the embassy, look, we're under siege in this building. There are stones coming through here that weigh 3 and 4 pounds apiece. These stones are hitting people. We have injuries. We'd like to ask you to help us. The Marines said, well, we'll see what we can do.
When we were attacked by the Costa Rica Libre, as an old man, a young girl took me by the hand and led me to the back of the building so that I'd be out of danger. And then she put her arms around me and told me that it meant a lot to her that I am there as a peace marcher.
One doesn't expect to be tear gassed in what is very often called the Switzerland of Central America.
To me, it is very clear and very simple. Benjamin Pisa was the Minister of Security, and he was co-founder of that group, Costa Rica Libre. And he was very much interested in not letting us to speak with people and not letting the people of Costa Rica show their support for peace in Central America.
As you all know, the Minister of Security gave us 72 hours in Costa Rica with security. A lot of things have happened since then, and the Minister of Security just arrived again for the third time 5 minutes ago, and he told us that he has withdrawn the visas and we have to leave before 12 tomorrow morning from this house. So I said to him that that was completely impossible. People are terribly tired, people are sick, we have no buses at the moment, so that is impossible. And then he said that he would provide us with buses and with doctors. And then I said we couldn't go before we had cleaned up the property and the house here, because it's all messed up by the Costa Rica Libre. And then he said he would provide for that as well.
By morning, the violence had stopped. 6 people were hurt, 1 critically. They were all Costa Ricans who had stayed up front to barricade the doors. We learned that the police had been there throughout the attack, standing off to the side, letting it go on. And now we were up against the government's deadline to leave the country. But no one wanted to be intimidated. Some of us saw this as a chance to put our principles on the line by staying and confronting the Costa Rica Libre. However, our Costa Rican supporters urged us to go before we provoked more violence. Violence that could be directed against them long after we had gone.
The Costa Rican Committee, which is the only thing we should be thinking of right now. It makes no difference what we'd like to do. It makes no difference what we think would be nice. It makes no difference if we feel that we're in the United States or somewhere else. All of that is irrelevant. The people in the greatest danger at this moment are Costa Ricans. They have decided that they do not intend to stay here, and I would suggest that we not sabotage them by doing something that we selfishly want to do.
We are bound by the local committees in respect of those decisions. Bound. We can negotiate with them on it, we can put the wishes of the march to them, but if they decide otherwise, then their decision goes.
We're just being led by like sheep, and without questioning. The same thing happened, don't you remember?
Yes, do you want to...
Don't you remember Costa Rica, Panama? What happened? 2 days we were stuck.
Don't remember. When Blaise was talking, he said that we had to follow the advice from the Costa Ricans.
Yeah, but that's a suggestion.
There was a lot of people in here, almost everybody, and all agreed.
No, it wasn't.
All agreed.
I didn't.
Are you coming here?
Almost all.
Are you coming here with solidarity and told the Costa Ricans what to do? We can't do that. It's their country. We have to listen to them.
I know. Yes, but the thing is, who are we listening to?
To the official committee, to the committee here, peace.
Yeah.
Well, and you know that
they have to leave.
Yeah.
And if the majority of the peace marchers want to leave and follow this advice, then all have to do it. A small minority can't just stay then. It's not democratic.
No, it's the final decision is up to the individual, what they want to do or not.
No, you have a responsibility to the mass too.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
We are not a march of anarchists. The art of working together is the art of making something like this happen. We simply cannot afford the types of divisions that I've been hearing about. And it will not work in Nicaragua. As I've told you before, There are times there when we are going to be under military discipline. If you're told to lie down, you lie down. If you're told right face, you right face. If you're told left face, you left face. Why? Because you're in a war zone. And we can't have people saying, oh, I don't think that's really what I feel like doing right now. Man, I sound my back. And I want to say with all the force that I have that lives are dependent upon this march being unified. I want to suggest at this time, and I would ask for a unanimous approval from you that we support the decision of the Costa Rican Committee, which is to leave here when we're told to leave here.
In a region with a history of violence, Costa Rica had prided itself on 30 years of neutrality. But the right wing here was calling for the United States to send troops into Nicaragua, and the leading presidential candidate, Calderón, was campaigning on the promise of withdrawing Costa Rica's neutrality, allowing for a rapid militarization. The march had come to applaud the Costa Ricans' democracy and encourage them to take a diplomatic lead in supporting Contadora. But we would never have that chance. We were bussed north under heavy military guard. For 2 days we'd had no sleep, and the Costa Ricans told us we might have to walk the final 5 kilometers to the Nicaraguan frontier. With the Contras operating along the border, neither the Costa Ricans nor the Nicaraguans felt safe there after dark.
We came to Nicaragua, I think, about 10 in the evening. And that was the most dreadful night for me. The darkest night, thinking that I had to walk with my baggage 5 kilometers. And I couldn't walk with it 5 steps. And I said, who is going to help me? Everybody has to carry their own. I was really concerned. When we came, I could see the lights there of a bus. And I thought, what's that? When I came, it was a bus there. And he said, we are here to take you. I thought, well, at least I don't have to carry my baggage. And I gave it to them, and he said, you come in, you go too. I said, but we are so many for the baggage. No, there are more buses coming. We came here to meet you. Oh, to me, that was really something, because I was afraid that the Contras were there and they could attack us. And seeing the Sandinistas there meeting us right at the border, it was something that I will never forget. It was great.
Nicaragua was like coming home, heroes returning from the battlefront. It was important to these people that we had come because we were talking about peace. And peace for Nicaraguans wasn't just a concept or a word. It had a very real meaning for them in the face of a brutal history and the ongoing Contra War. For over 40 years, Nicaraguans had lived under the Somoza dictatorship. In 1979, in a popular uprising, Somoza was overthrown, and the Sandinistas emerged to lead the country. But now Nicaragua and the U.S. were in an undeclared war. The United States was supporting the Contras, claiming that the Sandinistas had betrayed their promises to the people and become Soviet surrogates, while the Nicaraguans maintained that the U.S. aggression had pushed them into an increased Soviet dependency. Both sides were in a standoff. That night in Managua, we would meet with Daniel Ortega, the president of Nicaragua.
About the United Nations